Hi people, how you doing? Welcome. This is the 10-minute mind stretch, THTV. Welcome. We are currently in transit. Alright, in this 10 minutes, we're gonna have a 2-minute prep and a 10-minute, 2 to 3 minute prep, 5-minute prep, and then 10 minutes of a full mind stretch. Alright, it's gonna be fantastic, trust me. But do not trust me, engage. So, hi, good afternoon, how are you guys doing? Today I'm going to explain to you a perspective, a point of view, a concept, something that you could look at and, let's say, exist as if it were reality for a moment. So welcome. Okay, this is a 10-minute mind stretch. I'm going to introduce you guys to the concepts for a couple minutes first, and then we're going to stretch the mind by asking questions. All right, the key is to ask the right questions. All right, so first thing to warm up before we start completely stretching. So to warm up, let's say as an athlete, to warm up you will jog. All right, and after you get a bit warm, then you start stretching. So we have some steps now that we're going to use to jog. It is not painful. It's the mind. You know, it's when they calculate what percentage of a person's mind they use, it's about 10%. You know, so in reality, we have a lot of room to be creative. For example, a lot of people know 40 languages, 50 languages, 8 languages, 9, 10 languages, 12 languages. When the majority of the people in the world, they know 1 language. So we have the capacity to learn so much more, apply so much more, to be so much more creative without it being painful. Okay, so let's say what I've been my whole life because of how I grew up. 10%, yeah. It's very free of the construct of right and wrong, the construct of rules and the supposed to and the should, you know. Let's say I did not exist in that space. So what happened was I allowed myself to venture into creativity because there was no limits. There was no don't venture over there because it's wrong, don't venture over there because it's bad. Alright, so this is jogging. Alright, so we're jogging, we're getting warm. Alright, so I'm showing you, for example, how the beginnings of what's up, pimp, my man. It's always a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you for joining me. It's a real great pleasure. As far as jogging and stretching and so on, the jogging part is to realize that creativity exists in freedom. Creativity exists in the space that you are allowed to venture beyond any restriction. Creativity is the space that exists where there is no rules. And there's a book that I saw, I didn't need to read the book. You know, just the title of the book, done for me. Okay, done for me. And the name of the book was First Break All the Rules. And it's about the managers. They have 400 managers, top managers in the world, top 5 Fortune 500 companies. And they looked at, hey, what do these managers do that give them a cutting edge? And the guy came up with first break all, not some, not a few, not the convenient ones, not the right ones, not the politically correct ones, but first break all the rules. So we're jogging here. We're jogging, we're getting the mind warm and ready to have a look at some things. So we're nice and warm and ready. Thank you so much for the love, peeps. Alright, now let's start to stretch. Alright, now let's go over what we are approaching the situation with. right? We're approaching with the mind that creativity exists in the space beyond the rules, all right? Because what creativity is made of really is new stuff. New stuff can only come in when you go beyond the normal. Because if you have a limit, then people are going to go back and forth, and they're going to go to the edge all the time now, because that's right there now. That's so near. Like, we can see the limit, we can see the edge, we can see the rule. Creativity exists beyond there. So let's go beyond there and see what beyond there looks like. Right? Now, let's look at, I would call it the spectrum. In the spectrum of matter, you have very heavy physical matter, what we call physical, that you can see and touch, like the pavement in the road, cast iron, engine, blocks, cars, gold, light poles, metal, people, bodies, houses. That's heavy matter that you could see and touch. An apple, a fish. Heavy matter, right? Now, this is a spectrum. We're going to go a little bit lighter in the spectrum. We go to air, all right? Air is made of, let's say, particles that are a little bit lighter than steel, human body parts, but it's there. You know, the air could blow a tree down, it could blow a house down, all right? So air is a part of matter. It affects matter. It interacts with matter in a manner that we call real. All right, stick with me. This is the spectrum here. Now we go a step lighter on the spectrum. What do we have? We have radio waves, like how you're picking up this broadcast here live on your telephone or computer, is because my phone has no wires connected to it. So it's broadcasting a signal that is being connected to you in an invisible realm. Okay, this realm is the realm of radio waves and all of these things that exist here. Now, we're going to go a step further into the same realm. It's like an ocean where what we see is the heaviest stuff that has landed at the bottom of the ocean, and you could see it, it's physical, and the air would be like the watery stuff in the ocean, but there's stuff we can't see, and that they exist. And I show you the spectrum in terms of air, and then the next spectrum, which is radio waves. You can control a car or boat remotely. The cell phone again makes calls and sends text messages. In the air, you know, it's not made out of air molecule, it's made out of something lighter, okay? But it's all there in the physical spectrum of reality, spectrum of things that interact with physical heavy matter, okay? Stick with me now. Then we go a step lighter, we get to thoughts, okay? Thoughts are a little bit lighter than radio waves, but thoughts are real. Thoughts affect matter. For example, before the iPhone was created as a material device that people can use and sell and brand and so forth, it existed as an idea in the mind of a creator. It existed as an idea in the mind of someone who was free to create, someone whose mind was existing in that space beyond the rules, in that space beyond the structure of the society, safety. So thoughts affect reality by creating momentum that causes things to come into existence. Now, a lot of people think that the action is where the magic happens. Ladies, listening to Thorne Holder TV, THTV. My name is Thorne Holder. You can listen to me on 6:10 a.m. Sports on Sundays, 3 to 5 p.m. It's a special segment called The Other Life, which is a peek into the other life of professional athletes before and after the game. Hey, what's going on? How are you doing? Who am I dealing with here? Hey, yes man. So thoughts are at the top of my spectrum. Now they can go higher than thoughts, but let's stick with these 4 because it's a nice number to remember. You have heavy matter at the bottom, stuff you can see, physical stuff, heavy stuff, human bodies, cars, and so forth. All right. We have the wind, which is a little bit lighter, but it could blow a tree down. You breathe it in and out. It's made out of different materials that you can see, measure. And then we have radio wave, fishbone fisher. What's going on? You know, we have radio waves that operate our cell phones and make stuff like that work, right? Then we have thoughts. Thoughts, very light, much more difficult to maneuver in terms of getting physical things to move around. So for example, at the heavy level, like with my car, I can hit another car and move it, you know. With my body, I could bring something into my existence, you know. I can take my hand and my value and purchase something with the value that I've used and turn into cash physically, right? Now, in using, let's say, air, Nike or Adidas, I would say Nike. Yeah. Thoughts are as real as the hand reaching out to pick the apple. Okay? Thoughts are as real as the wind blowing the tree down. Thoughts are as real as your cell phone making this phone call, making this interview, making this discussion possible. Okay? Thoughts are as real as the concept of the iPhone existing as an idea in the head of a person's, in the mind of a person, and it's being manifested into a physical thing. And thank you very much, sir, ma'am. Once you come to understand and feel and know that and see that tangibly how it works, then you start taking control of your thoughts. When you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. You take control of physical things that are interacting with your reality. You know, you start seeing that in that thought world, you make thought connections as well. So for example, you bring people into your life according to, thank you, I'll break it down some more. All right. So let's look at physically. If you want to move something physically, you can go pick an apple with your hand. All right. It's very easy to affect the physical with your physical. You know, if you go for an interview, you could go out and find clients. You could make calls. That's physical stuff, physical work, labor. All right, labor. That's pure physical, heavy matter interaction. All right, stick, and you go ahead now with wind. You know, wind is a little bit lighter than the physical, right? So in order for wind to affect physical matter, now the purpose of this now is to establish the power we have with thought to affect physical matter, and how in actuality thought is affecting physical matter much more than physical matter is affecting physical matter. For example, the realm that thought exists in, that invisible that we can't see, but we know it exists because we perpetuate a language consistently as a result of continuous meshing and collecting and remembering and making of thoughts in that realm. All right. I didn't see that question. You need to repeat it. All right. So radio waves, again, it's lighter, so it's becoming much more difficult. It needs a lot more momentum, needs a lot more connection as you get lighter to affect the physical matter, for one to affect the other. All right, so you're moving from physical to physical, which is easy because it's in the same zone, heavy matter affecting heavy matter. We get up to radio waves, now we get up to thought. Now people regard thought as something willy-nilly. They carry on with bad habits of thought. They carry on with allowing things into their chambers of thought through subconscious repetition by looking at the telly over and over, listening to certain music over and over, repeating a thought or idea, concept or belief over and over in their mind, or saying it over and over, or allowing people to insist that that's their quality or their value. So what we are looking at here is the power and impact of getting control of the thoughts, also the power and impact and the actual law of how thoughts impact everything, how it creates your life, how it creates the people that you come in contact with. It creates the opportunity you have, it creates the timing of these opportunities. It's your thought, the energy of that thought, the momentum of that thought, the emotion of that thought, the belief, you know. And then what happens with belief, with intention, there is momentum that is going to be building purely from believing in yourself, believing that it's going to work, believing that it's going to happen. And knowing starts occurring. You start knowing that once something is manifested in your head as an idea, concept, you feel strongly about, you proceed in a knowing fashion. You proceed with your action like, yeah, this is happening. I don't know how exactly, but I'm going to work step by step, moment by moment, to do my part to know that it's going to happen. And then consistently act like it has already happened. You know, whatever position, whatever you want to be. If you want to be a radio host, you know, then be that radio host. The very best that you can be right now in the moment. What would you do? What would you research? What would you study? What would you practice? What would you insist upon? How would you interview? How much time are you going to put into learning to become the best? How are you going to get people to listen to your show? How are you going to get people to call into your show? How are you going to get your guests to feel so happy after they spoke to you? I'm very happy that I can help. Very, very happy that I can. You know, and if you want to continue to speak with me, my email address is th@thorneholder.com, th@thorneholder.com. This is what I do. As far as I have a company called Dream Development and Design, and we are very proficient in helping people focus their minds so that they could, one, center themselves, find their purpose, and do what is next. That's about it. That's all you need to know to do. You know, you have your purpose, you focus on that purpose, and what's next? You do the very next thing. You know, I have a book that I'm working on. It's called Seven, the Law of Sevens. You know, you have a concept, idea, or need, or realization. In the next 7 seconds, what are your thoughts about it? You know, are you going to carry on with the thoughts in a good way, saying, oh, I like this idea, this is something I need to do. Boom. In the next 7 minutes, what are you going to do? Are you going to write a note about it? Are you going to make a call about it? You're going to tell somebody, you're going to post something about it. Are you going to do some research about it? The next 7 hours, you know. How do you really feel about this idea, concept, or need? Do you have the time or the space to move on it in an action? Can you do it? And if you can't do it, then carry on then. Because next, what are we going to do next? You know, and then we have a very simple manner that we prioritize. Very simple. There are 3 dimensions, basically. One, there is family, all right, which is loved ones. It includes your friends, your wife, your children, your brother, your uncle, you know, your mentors and so on. It's family, people that you know and interact with consistently. It could be the guy at the bakery and so on. That's your family, all right? That's your That's your relationships with people. All right. So as far as today, like sometimes you work with people, and some of the people that you work with, you're close with, your family. So as far as we prioritize in a very simple way. Yes, I did. TH at THORNEHOLDER.com. Alright. Yes. So the other aspect, as far as what's next and how you plan your day, you start in the morning, and these are three things that whatever your interaction is with these three things today, this is your plan and goal for them, and it's the, you know, your activity changes, but this system, this stencil, it's fantastic. It's very simple. It works with three things, but you put them into these three categories. First, family. So interaction. Who are you going to interact with today? What is your goal? One, I'm grateful for. You always lead with the first thing is to be grateful for everybody that you have, that you're going to interact with, that you love, that they're here with you, and it's all love. We all working together to be happy and to help each other. All right. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. I am indeed in love with you. I love you, and I'm happy that you're here. You know, it's a real pleasure for you to take your time and share it with me. It means a lot to me, you know. So whatever your interactions with people, first you're grateful that you have them. Immediately your state of mind towards them is good. So now you're a lot nicer generically. Now with more intent, now you have a goal to be extra helpful, to be extra efficient, to be extra good and articulate in your communication with people, to demonstrate verbally and in your action very clearly how you feel about them and your intention for the relationships. You know, these are some physical goals. Every morning you get up, as far as family, you set that one up. All right. Yes. Thank you very much. It is beautiful, isn't it? All right. Now the other aspect is, let's say I call it life's work. All right. What is your general major purpose, and as a result your work. Sometimes jobs is what give you the money. Your work is your actual passionate involvement in something you sincerely care about and care about building. Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining me, and all right, much love, and I hope to see you again. Please share, please retweet and tweet and retweet and share with people and invite people to watch it and so on. It would be really nice. I would really appreciate it. You know, and if you could also invite people to have me as a speaker, because I'm a speaker. This is what I get paid for. I'll come speak at your event. I'll come speak for your school. People that own companies, people that work for companies, salespeople. Because, you know, what I do know is within the being, there is an organized structure of energy. And this energy is tapped into by the focus of the mind, by being very clear and by using very specific techniques to think about things, you know. And the way you think about things now, it affects physical matter. To discover your life purpose. Well, the first question I would ask is, what do you enjoy doing most? All right. What do you enjoy doing most? So you go through the process with me. Let's say I will do this with a client. So you tell me, what do you enjoy doing most? Alright, now, so I'm at home. I have to go take my kids into the house. So, you like public speaking? Well, I would say your life purpose would be towards, let's say teaching, educating, enhancing the life of, yeah, there you have it, And a speaker, it also means that you like analyzing things, you also like explaining things, you like solving problems, you like presenting cases, um, you like to be proficient and to help people help people become proficient, help people on their journey, help people get excited about what they want to do, what they need to do, help people make the next step, take the next step, and the next step, and the next step, um, give me a second, we have to talk, all right? I like what you're doing. Ah, I forgot about you guys.